Ever used a website or an app and just thought, wow, this looks amazing, or this is so easy to use? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're going to pull back the curtain on the world of front-end development. And listen, this isn't just some boring theory lesson. Nope. This is a crucial piece of our Learn DevOps from Scratch series. We're actually building a real app together, from the ground up, one piece at a time. So let's start with this idea right here. This is pretty much our motto for today. We are not just memorizing code. Instead, we're learning how the front end thinks. And why is that so important? Because once you get the core logic down, seriously, any framework, whether it's React, Angular, whatever comes next, it just clicks. It becomes so much easier. All right, so let's get right into it. What is the front end, really? To put it simply, it's everything you see and touch on your screen. It's the part of the application that lives right there, inside your web browser. You know, all those buttons you click, the forms you fill out, even the text you're reading and the images you're seeing. Yep, that's all front end. The rule of thumb is super simple. If you can see it and you can interact with it on your screen, you're dealing with the front end, period. Okay, but here's where it gets really important. We need to draw a clear line between the front end and the back end. Think of it like this. The front end is the slick, shiny storefront that you walk into. The back end, that's the huge warehouse out back, the office, the machinery, all the stuff that actually makes the business run. So the front end's job is to show you that cool user interface, the UI, and grab whatever you type in. It then bundles that up and shoots a request over to the back end. Now, the back end is the real workhorse. It's doing all the heavy lifting, handling business rules, verifying your login, talking to the database. And this part is absolutely critical. The front end never, ever talks directly to the database. That separation, it's the foundation for building apps that are secure, that can grow, and that aren't a total nightmare to maintain. But wait, there's more. Even inside the front-end world, there's another big separation we need to talk about. This is a classic beginner mistake, honestly. Folks mix up what an app looks like with how it actually works. Good modern development, it splits those two things right down the middle. So on one hand, you've got the UI, the appearance. That's everything you see, the layout, the colors, the fonts, all the pretty stuff. But on the other hand, you've got the brains, the logic. This is what happens when you actually do something, like click a button. It's the code that validates your input or makes a call to the back end. And keeping these two separate, man, that is the secret sauce. It is the reason why frameworks like React are so amazing for building big, complicated apps that don't just collapse into a messy pile of code. And since we mentioned React, let's just dive in. Don't worry, we're not going to drown in a bunch of tech jargon and buzzwords. We're just going to talk about it for what it is, a super popular and really powerful way to build the kinds of user interfaces we've been talking about. So what even is React? Well, at its heart, it's a library for JavaScript that helps you build user interfaces. It was actually built by Facebook, and it's trusted by huge companies like Netflix and Instagram. And why do they use it? You guessed it, it's because React is fantastic at keeping that appearance and brain separation nice and clean. The main idea in React is just brilliant. It's all about components. So instead of having one giant, messy file for your whole page, you break it down into small, reusable pieces. Think of them like Legos. You build a little header Lego, a button Lego, a login form Lego. And here's the cool part. Each little block has its own appearance and its own brains, all bundled together. Then you just snap them together to build your whole app. It's such a clean, organized, and honestly powerful way to build things. All right, so building with Lego blocks. That makes a lot of sense, right? But it brings up a really important question. How does an application remember stuff? Like, how does it know that you're logged in or what you've put in your shopping cart? Well, the answer is a concept called state. And don't let the word scare you. State is just any piece of information in your app that can change over time. It could be the text you're typing into a search box, a list of your to-do items, or even just a simple on or off switch. That's it. State is just the app's short-term memory. And this is where React's real superpower comes in. It's like a simple three-step dance. 1, you, the user, do something. You click Add Task. 2, behind the scenes, that click updates the app's memory, its state. And 3, this is the magic part. React sees that the state has changed, and it automatically redraws the screen to show that new task. You, the developer, don't have to do anything to update the visuals. React just handles it. It's amazing. Okay, so we've talked about all these big ideas, right? Components, state, UI versus logic. Now let's bring it back down to earth. What does this actually look like when you open up a project folder? How is it all organized? So a standard React project is going to look something like this. And hey, don't stress about memorizing every single file name. Just get the feel for it. You'll see a components folder, that's where all your little Lego blocks live. Then you'll have something like a pages folder, which is where you put those blocks together to make full screens. Think of it as the actual physical blueprint for the app we're building. Now, you might be thinking, do I have to create all those folders myself? And the answer is, thankfully, no. You just run one single command in your terminal. That's it. This one little line of code automatically builds out a complete professional-grade project structure for you. It's all ready to go. And after you run that command, boom, this is what you'll see, the spinning React logo. And this isn't just a fancy loading screen, okay? This is a super important confirmation. It's telling you, hey, your project is set up correctly. Your development server is running. Everything is working. This right here is the starting line for pretty much every real-world front-end app. So why are we talking about all this? What does it have to do with our series? Well, everything. Because this simple spinning logo, this is the seed. This is the foundation of the big anchor project we're going to be building together throughout this entire DevOps journey. Here's the game plan. We're going to take this basic starter app and, step by step, we're going to transform it. First, we'll turn it into a simple UI for taking notes. Then, we'll build that out into a full-blown task manager. After that, we'll tack on a notification system. And finally, we'll build the login and sign-up screens to make it secure. This single app is going to be our playground, our sandbox, and it's going to grow right alongside us as we get deeper into the backend and DevOps stuff. So there you have it. We've got the concepts down, we understand the structure, and we can see the road ahead. The blueprint is officially ready. So now there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to build? Because in the next explainer, that's exactly what we're going to do.